So, One America News is one of the most right-wing outlets in the country. So, of course, you have, whatever sort of white nationalist outlets that might exist on the dark web that maybe have attracted some fans. But outside of that, you have Newsmax and One America News Network compete all the time to see who can be the most crazy. Well, it appears like we have a winner because if there's any lines that you can't cross, this segment cross that line. Take a look.
And when all the dust settles from the audit in Arizona and the potential audits in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Wisconsin, what happens to all these people who are responsible for overthrowing the election? What are the consequences for traitors who meddled with our sacred democratic process and tried to steal power by taking away the voices of the American people? What happens to them? Well, in the past, America had a very good solution for dealing with such traitors: execution.
That is this close, even in a totally free speech country like our own with the First Amendment, that is this close to being illegal. Illegal. The only thing it's missing is to bring up a specific name. Because a direct threat of violence is, we should kill these people, and here's who I'm talking about, here's the list. And then, of course, if you throw in to boot, here's where they live, or here's where they work, whatever, then it's illegal. That's just flat out illegal. And everybody knows this, I'm as big of a free speech absolutist, free speech bro as there is out there. But right there, son, you're skating on thin ice. Because that shit is fucking crazy. Talking about killing your political opponents, executing your political opponents. By the way, executing for what? Because the thing with the election, Trump won and then they covered it up and there were 60 plus lawsuits. Donald Trump lost every single one except like one, and the one that he won was over some procedural nonsense. It had no bearing on the outcome of the election. These guys are so insane, they've gotten themselves to believe that Trump really won the election. It was really stolen from him by a half-dead zombie Biden. And, these people are traitors. Guys, just so you understand, in a lot of these cases that Trump lost about the election, they were Trump-appointed judges and other Republican-appointed judges. And they looked at the evidence and they laughed it out of the courtroom. Like, what are you talking about? There's no evidence of any of this shit. The conspiracy theories are bonkers. They say Maduro and Venezuela hacked some of the voting machines because the company had a connection with them or some shit, as if secretly Maduro runs the world. I mean, what a joke this is. This is like Russiagate on steroids, the right-wing version of Russiagate. Like, what are you talking about? And see, this is what happens. This is what happens. People believe in sanity, and if you convince yourself it's real, if you truly believe Trump won the election, well, then what? Well, it's to storm the Capitol and break some windows. In their mind, that's like the least they could do. The least. That's like, we're just getting warmed up. We're just getting started. We haven't crossed any lines at all, given the severity of the crime. And you have this garbage network is feeding that. They're feeding that frenzy. And you got a bunch of people out there, a lot of people are seriously hurting and suffering. They don't have a job, or they don't have, that much money in the bank account, and they're on a steady diet of right-wing insanity, and maybe you throw some drugs in the mix, you throw a little bit of undiagnosed paranoid schizophrenia or PTSD or something of that nature, and somebody might do some shit. All because this jackass is out there saying, kill him, execute him. For what? Telling the truth? Knowing the reality? Counting the votes properly? This is dangerous. This is dangerous. It really is. So, we're really on the borderline now. I think, legally speaking, a direct threat of violence would have to be, let's do this, and here's the person I'm talking about who we should do it to. That would be illegal. Or here's who I think we should do it to, and here's where they live or where they are or whatever. That would be illegal. But he's skating on thin ice. He's right there, dog. And by the way, look, all the sponsors. Now, by the way, stop and think about that. You could go as far right-wing as to go full fascist on One American News Network and call for executions. You can do that, and you still have corporate sponsors like it's no problem. You can't even get a fucking social democrat on TV. You can't get somebody who's like, I think the Norwegian model is nice. Wouldn't it be nice if we had healthcare like Denmark? Whoa, get this person off TV. They're crazy. They want everybody to have healthcare and high wages and paid time off. Ha 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 ha. Ridiculous. But you can go on and go full fascist and say, we should execute our political opponents. And the advertisers are like, oh, yawn. This is nothing. We're used to seeing this. So look at the problem with the Overton window. It skews way far right. And so, what? The best you have on TV on the left is Chris Hayes? Pfft, what a joke. What a joke that is. So anyway, shame on One American News Network. Shame on Newsmax. This stuff is absolutely out there, especially when we just had January 6th and we got a frenzied, insane political movement. To allow them to just feed this and it's totally fine. Is there literally nothing that would make the network go, you know what? Too far. Reel it in a little bit. Fire the guy or whatever. Is there nothing? Or does he have to give the name and the address too? Unfortunately, my guess is I don't think they'd even act if he did that.